Hello my loves. I wanted to tell some spooky stories that have happened to me since moving to the Appalachian Mountains. Now, we technically moved up to the mountains sometime in April of 2023, but instead of moving to an actual house, we were homeless, but we were jumping between hotels, motels, and Airbnbs. So we still had a roof over our heads, just not a consistent place to stay. We didn't actually move into a house of our own until December, but because we were jumping from so many different places, we managed to get quite a few spooky experiences. Some places were higher in the mountains than the others, and those ones seemed to be typically more haunted than the other ones. Also, as a side note, most of the places up here don't have street lamps, so when it is night, it is pitch black outside. So for our first story, we are going to be staying at this one row home-like house up on the mountain, and we were high enough where we were near the ski slopes. How it was set up was you walk in and you are on the middle floor, and above you there was a loft with a bed in it, and then below the middle ground there were 2 more bedrooms. And in the middle there was the kitchen, dining room, and living room, and they were all connected. The downstairs rooms were just kind of like regular rooms. They had windows and everything, so it still had regular windows. My husband and I were sitting on the bed and letting Kit and Lunar stretch out their legs. We had the window open because it was kind of hot in the room, but it didn't have a screen in it, so we had the curtain closed. And that would also help us keep Kit from flying out the window. My husband and I were watching something on my laptop, and I heard something, so I paused the video. And then I noticed Kit and Lunar weren't making any noise, and they were just standing there like they were listening too. I looked at my husband to see if he heard it, and then I heard it again. A bell. Not like a church bell or a clock tower, but a jingle bell, like the kind you use in crafts, and it was coming from outside the window. At that same time, I am trying to register what I just heard. Lunar runs under the bed, and Kit jumps back into his cage. Lunar starts thumping, and I turn to my husband, and he just looks at me and says, "Close the window." I hop out of bed and immediately close the window. I get on the floor and try to comfort the babbies, and after a long quiet while, Lunar relaxes and Kit hops out of his cage. I gave them some pets and some treats before sending them to bed. We stayed there for about a week, then we went to a couple of other places, but then we eventually went back to that house to stay there again. Now this time we knew better than to have the window open at night, so now that was closed. So we were again sitting in bed and we had our door closed, and then we heard something walking down the hall, and then a bang on our door. Now, we go to bed before everyone else, so everyone else should be upstairs on the couches. My husband, just thinking someone needed us for some reason, got out of bed and went over and opened the door, but there was no one there. He went out into the hallway to see if he just missed someone, but it's a really small hallway, so it would be hard to miss someone. He walked back into the room and closed the door and got back into bed. We turned the video back on, and we got only like 5 minutes into the video when again we heard something stomping this time, and a bang at the door. And this time I was watching the door, so I saw it shake when whatever it was hit it. Still thinking it could be one of his siblings or his parents, my husband got up and opened the door again. This time, however, his brother was walking down the stairs, so my husband asked if he's been pacing around the hallway and knocking on our door, and he said no, he had only just gotten down there. Side note, Lunar, every time the door is open, he will hop out from under the bed because he knew that he would get pets from whoever is in the hallway. But each time we checked after hearing the bang, he stayed under the bed. The next night we were upstairs with the rest of the family just watching TV, and we asked if anyone else came down to get us last night, and everyone said no. So we told everyone what happened last night and the last time we stayed at that house. And when I told them about the bells and the footsteps, my mother-in-law looked at me like she saw a ghost. She then tells me that the last time we stayed in this house, she and my father-in-law heard bells too, but they were staying in the upstairs loft that didn't have windows except for a skylight. So we were all freaked out, and that's when the kitchen light starts flickering. We all look at each other, like, you are seeing this too, right? We had all the other lights on in the house, so I got up and turned off the kitchen light, and then I sat back down. Then the light over the sink starts flickering, and now I, even more freaked out, get up and turn that light off and say something like, must be using too much power in the kitchen. And then the hall light leading up to the upstairs loft starts flickering. And now I am annoyed, and I ask, can you just stop? And it did. I am now completely shocked and realize how dark the living room was without the kitchen light on. I look at everyone else, and my mother-in-law speaks up and says everyone should just go to bed. So we did. Thank you so much for watching this video. I have so many other stories about living in the mountains that I am looking forward to telling you. If you have any stories that you would like me to tell, please go to my Reddit or Discord, tell me there, and I may read in my next video. If you want more spooky stuff, please go follow my Twitch to catch me live watching spooky videos or playing games. The last couple streams I did, I caught some spooky stuff in the audio. You don't want to miss that. Thank you so much, my loves, and I will see you next time. Good night, Pumpkin.